respect that. You got my point, gentlemen? So these are the various limitations and conditions imposed by ATC on a flight plan. That is called as a flight planning. Now, in addition to this flight management part, give the aircraft position, follow up the flight plan. This is called the navigation. To be modified quickly during the flight. Flight plan is inserted before the flight, but pilot can change it anytime during the flight. In case of FM problem, the remaining flight management guidance computer is used as a sole source of MCD for both after automatic switching. Now, database, it is a collection of the navigation database information for the flight plan construction and follow-up. The pilot will either select an already assembled flight plan or company route or build his own flight plan. So pilot can either select the pre-defined flight routes, because every company, when they are flying on a particular sector, they design the route and they save it in the flight management system, right? Airline modifiable file, right? Or routes, something like the word is there. So this is already programmed because you know that you are going to fly every day and night on this sector. So every time you will not make the flight plan. You made it once and you save it. So pilot will come, select it, and everything is in line. Correct? Nevertheless, pilot can anytime make his own flight plan also, if he want. So that's why it is saying the pilot will either select or already assembled flight plan called as a company route, or he can build his own flight plan using the database. Database has been tailored to cover up to 28 days, and there is a space for 20 nav heads he can add, 20 waypoints and 10 runways, 3 company routes he can make. In the new FMS system, which is FMS2, now in place of 3 company routes, there are the 5 company routes. So space is provided for 2 more company routes. That is the difference. FMS1 and FMS2. Otherwise, 20 navigats, 20 waypoints, 10 runways is common. Only thing is, 2 more company routes space is provided. Database cannot be erased. Database is permanent. You cannot erase it. However, as an option, mainly enter data can be erased. It means if you have modified some data in the flight plan or you have changed some data in the flight plan, that is valid only for single sector. After the sector is over, things will wipe out. It will not remain. Clear? So this is for pilots. You can database can be loaded into the FMGC with the help of portable or MDD, whatever device you have. Based on that, you can download the software or the nav database into the system, which we have seen in chapter 31, CFDS system, if you remember. Right? Navigation, forget about it. ACARS, forget about it. We will discuss the ACARS after the break. Okay, chapter 46. So there we will discuss in detail. Lateral flight plan. Now, in the beginning, you must have discussed that every flight plan will be divided into 2 parts, lateral flight plan and vertical flight plan. Every flight plan, let us say you are going from Dubai to where you want to fly, Oman or Karachi or Islamabad or Sri Lanka. You are going from Dubai to Sri Lanka, right? So the flight plan will be divided into the 2 parts, lateral flight plan and vertical flight. So lateral flight plan will have the information for departure airport, that is the initial fixed original airport, standard departure procedure. Then en route, mainly the waypoints management and navigation management. Okay. So this is lateral flight plan, and one more thing is arrival. Arrival means standard arrival terminal route, star, approach, misapproach, and go around. What you will do in case there is a misapproach? What if you have to go around? So that is all part of lateral flight planning. Lateral steering order can be followed by the pilot or by the auto. planning? Plan gives an accurate flight path predictions. Require precise knowledge of the current and forecasted wind, temperature, lateral flight path to be flown. So all this information is required for vertical flight planning. Wind forecast, temperatures, etc., etc. Now, this divided into the several phases. What are the several phases for the vertical flight planning? First is a pre-flight. So this is the cockpit preparation pilot do, right? He will enter the fuel, weight of the aircraft, V2 speed, V1 speed, VR speed. All this information he will feed manually. Takeoff. During the takeoff, he will manage the speed, thrust reduction altitude, and acceleration altitude. What is the acceleration altitude? What is the thrust reduction altitude? Then climb, speed limit, and speed management. During the climb, what will be the speed? Based on the weight of the aircraft, which you have already entered here. Then cruise condition, top of climb, cruising altitude, and top of descent. It means this is your profile. So this is altitude. What this altitude is? Top of climb. This is the top of climb. Cruising altitude, this is your cruising altitude. Right, top of descent. This is the point where you have to start so that you can land on the runway. Clear? Yeah. If you start from here, then you have to do like this, which is dangerous. If you do from here, then it will take more time. So the optimum top of descent is decided as per flight plan. You got my point? They are all operational things. It is nice to know. This is what your performance page is also there. Sorry, I missed it. Performance page. The performance database contains optimal speed schedule for the expected range of operating conditions. Several performance modes are available to operate with primary on being economy mode. Economy mode is a mode where you manage with the time and fuel. You manage with the time and the fuel because both the things are important for the airline. Both the things are important for airline. Either you burn more fuel, fly in less time, and screw up your engine. Or you fly optimally, take appropriate time, and let the engine operate comfortably. So this is defined by a number which is called as a cost index number, CI number. And the CI number is nothing, selectable cost index number. It is defined as the ratio of the cost of the time to the cost of fuel. It is ratio of the cost of the time to the cost of the fuel. That is a cost index number. So what the airline want? Accordingly, they set the cost index number. Fuel and time are the main actor in this particular part of the FM operation. They are the main key factors. Right? Here you can see the various internal part of the flight management. They are all interfaces: GPS, ADIRS, RadioNav, wetsuit, PAC, FQIC. Many computers, directly or indirectly, all computers are connected. Then you have a nav database loaded through the PDL. You have a performance database. FM will process this information and then develop your lateral flight plan, vertical flight plan, and speed and thrust management. Right? Speed and thrust management for vertical flight plan. Correct? Once this is calculated, then the FM part will make these three orders: lateral orders, thrust orders, and vertical orders. After managing these orders, then it will send these orders to the FG to implement it. That, hey, gentlemen, now this is your job to execute these plan. And this gentleman will do, okay, he will distribute the job to these various computers. There's a flight control computer, your LAC, FAC, and SAC. So maneuvering the aircraft on the desired flight path to manage your lateral and vertical guidance. Altitude vertical, lateral heading. Correct. When you are in the air, the two things are there, lateral and vertical. So lateral is heading, vertical is your altitude. So that will be managed by FD flight controls. And to achieve this maneuvering, to achieve this level, you require power from the engine. So at the same time, auto thrust command will be sent to engines. I hope this is clear, guys.
Yes.
Okay, backup mode is available, which is rarely used. You can see from the manual itself what the backup mode is. Right. Backup mode is actually when your FMGC is lost. When your both FMGC are lost, right? So in this situation, MCDU will work with the ADIRS information because your angle of attack, speed, altitude, everything is coming from the ADIRS, right? And pilot will select the backup navigation mode from the MCDU. Once it is selected, your ND will show you backup navigation mode. So your flight plan is available, but there is no automatic operation. This is manual operation. So you know where I have to go, but how to go, that you have to decide. Clear, sir? Hello? Autopilot, what it is doing? Autopilot is doing the optimizations, performance, everything, and following the route accordingly. Because it know the route, it know its current position, it can follow the route. But now FMGC is not available, but the route is available. Okay. So pilot will manually fly the aircraft based on the flight plan given on ND.
So manual flying means he still uses the FCU, right?
He still
In
uses
case if this kind, the flight control
computers.
yes.
Yeah. See, in this manual flying mode, FMGC is out. So your levers is directly connected to the engine. Correct. Thrust levers is directly connected to the engine. Okay. Your side stick and rudder pedal
Yes.
is connected to the EFCS computers. So what do you need?
Yeah, that's correct. They are direct. But if only your FMGCs have failed, he can still use the other electronic flight FCU and all to put his inputs, right?
FCU altitude can be used. Yeah, FCU can be connected because altitude
For the
purpose,
heading
yes,
and all.
FCU will be used. Yeah. Manually they will work.
Oh,
Heading and all these things will work manually.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because altitude
Right.
you will select from FCU, heading you will select, speed you can select.
Okay. Thank you.
So they will work in manual mode.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Sir, it means that autopilot can be connected, but flight management part will not be available to us. Like guidance will be there. Sorry, flight management part is not there, but we can connect the autopilot because on the last page, they say that nav mode cannot be engaged, which is the manage mode. So selected mode of auto flight can be used even for the backup navigation. Yeah, on the ND display, he says in the ND display heading in the fourth line, as nav mode cannot be engaged. So
Just a
it is
minute.
the manage mode. Hmm. So I think so in managed mode we cannot use the autopilot, but in selected mode we can still use the autopilot for the backup navigation.
No, autopilot will not be used as far as I know. The MCDU
Okay.
transmit backup flight plan onto
Hmm.
ND,
Hmm.
and it has active flight plan vector and waypoint related to the
Hmm.
fixed aircraft position in rose and arc mode.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm?
Rose and arc mode you will get it, but it is a
Hmm.
flight plan you will get it, not for the autopilot,
Sir,
because
but
the
what does it
autopilot
mean in the bracket? Like as nav mode cannot be engaged. What does it mean here?
nav mode means you cannot navigate.
Sir, nav is one of the
All
managed modes.
not necessary. It can be selected mode also.
Hmm.
Right. In all cases, the flight plan is dashed in the green as
Hmm.
nav mode cannot be engaged. Options select on the EFIS control panel are not allowed. Selection on the EFIS control panel are not allowed.
Hmm.
Right. So you cannot get all this information
Because they are coming from the flight management part.
because this is coming from the FM part, nav database. So
Hmm.
airport you will not get
Hmm.
NDVs, beacons, viewer, yeah, all these things you will not get from
Hmm.
FMGC because they
Yes.
are once you select from EFIS, they will retrieve the information from NAP database, which is
Yes.
not available.
Hmm.
So only your current flight backup plan is available in the MCDU. So
Okay,
you have
sir.
to fly manually.
Okay, sir.
See, can you read here? MCDU backup navigation plan gives to the crew a limited information which can be used to complete the current flight. Which can be used to complete the current flight. It is activated through the selected nav backup prompt on MCDU menu, and it may be accurate. Backup navigation functions work independently and may be activated separate. So you will not get.
So, sir, it means that we cannot use FCU, right? For the altitude also, because these knobs are giving orders to FMGC.
No, that is the interface is there. I don't know how to show you that one because it is not in the training material. Otherwise, you cannot change the altitude, that how you will fly.
Like captains have to manually fly with the joystick.
But in a joystick they
They,
will fly and they will get the altitude information on the PFDs and Ds.
yeah.
That sounds okay. That sounds okay. Right. I'll see to that. But I believe that FCU should have interface. I'll check again.
Okay.
Much information. Okay. That's all, guys, about this system. After the break, I will